What doesn't line up super nicely, how's that
Oof.
for transition, is talking about the P320 once again for just a minute. So
Trenches entered the chat.
Global Strike Command completes. Yeah, they actually had Trench do all the testing to verify whether or not their P320s were good to be put back in service or not. That was
very rigorous.
That came to me in a dream. That wasn't confirmed. Okay, just I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So Air Force Global Strike Command completes M18 handgun inspection, returns to service. So which is, as we'd expect. So they inspected 7970, almost 8,000 M18 handguns, following the pause after the airman shooting in July 21st, 2025, which we still don't have all the information on because military trials can take their time and they don't have to be forthcoming with information, which is their prerogative. But there's one part in here. Where is it? There's only one part in here that's of interest to me. Where is it? Come on. Am I blind? Oh, here it is. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. The inspection process identified discrepancies, which is always an interesting word, with 191 weapons across the command's M18 inventory. So 191 out of 8,000 roughly. Let's say 8,000, or actually let's do
1 in 41.
Oof. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
There.
1 in every 41 were sent back for issues.
Well, so all 8,000 were inspected. 1 out of every 41 across the command's M18 inventory. The identified discrepancies. The primary discrepancy was related to components where the most frequent issues centered on problems with the safety lever, which is, again, the last line of defense before that striker goes home. The striker assembly and sear, also insanely important. Weapons exhibiting these discrepancies were immediately tagged and are undergoing necessary repairs. The intent of this command-wide inspection was twofold. First, to confirm that all weapons in service are in proper working order, and second, to analyze the data regarding any reported discrepancies and usage rates. So, 1 out of every 40 pistols, roughly, had sear or part wear, safety lever, striker assembly wear abnormal to, because I believe these were only issued like 3 years ago. So these are fairly new handguns. So now that is some time for wear and tear, as you would expect for some handguns to have issues, right? But for 1 out of every 40 to be having issues that they needed additional safety measures or replacement parts or anything else like that is a little concerning. So, a review of weapon discharges in Air Force Global Strike Command showed that none were attributed to weapon malfunction. When we see a potential issues, we have a responsibility to our airmen and the American public to evaluate and find any discrepancies and act on them, Busseret said. As part of its commitment to safety, Air Force Global Strike Command is implementing enhanced inspection procedures for the M18 pistol. The command bases will include additional inspection criteria for the areas where potential issues were found during the M18 pause. So moving forward, they're just updating their maintenance cycles and exactly what they're doing during their maintenance checks, right? By incorporating these added measures, we assess that any issues found with the safety lever, striker assembly, and sear will be identified during semi-annual and annual inspections. So every, 6 months they're getting these done? Said Lieutenant Colonel George Hearn, Air Force Global Strike Command Chief of Security Forces, as we execute... poor phrasing. As we execute M18 inspections in the future, we will be taking a particular interest in these components to ensure these methods address the issues we found and make adjustments as needed. Air Force Global Strike Command Security Forces defenders are resuming arming with the M18s because for 2 months they only had M4s. That was the only thing that they were being issued, basically, that have successfully passed the inspection, so all but those 200 that didn't pass, deeming them safe and reliable for use. Further, Security Forces squadron commanders, senior enlisted leaders, and combat arms training and maintenance personnel are taking the time to meet with airmen following this inspection. These leaders are discussing inspection findings, explaining the enhanced inspection procedures, reinforcing muzzle discipline, which is... very important. Regardless, everybody can agree, regardless of your take on the P320 or the M18 or M17 or SIG themselves, everyone can agree if you don't point the gun at the person, regardless of if it goes off or not, doesn't kill somebody.
Everyone can agree except for Black Rambo.
Bro.
Yeah, well, hey.
Hey, don't make it about race, man. reviewing reporting procedures for weapons of concern and providing airmen the opportunity to ask questions and raise concerns. The M18 is specifically designed and rigorously tested to meet stringent environmental, endurance, and drop tests unique to the military. Now, I do find it funny that they mentioned drop tests at the end of that article, considering that SIG came out with the P320 in 2013. They didn't update the drop safety features until 2017. However, they bought the patent from Gray Guns in 2014. So they bought the updated dual Sierra catch, the updated safety measures. They bought all of that from Gray Guns in 2014. However, they did not implement any of the changes until 2017. So I would say it seems that SIG objectively knew that the guns were not drop safe for a number of years before implementing the change. And remember, Gray Guns also knew they were, because in 2014 he, designed, or even earlier possibly, right? That's just when this transaction took place. Gray Guns almost assuredly knew, looking at the design, something's wrong here. It's not actually drop safe. In my own testing, because after people figured out how easy it was to get it to go off, like, people just recreated it going off pretty easily. Gray Guns knew about it in 2014. SIG did not make it public until 2017, and then they had their voluntary upgrade program when, again, they already knew that it was defective for the last 3 years at that point.
Now, do you think that they could be held liable for any instances that happened during that 3-year time frame between 2014 to 2017 when they had already purchased it but hadn't implemented the fix or said anything to the public?
It's very possible. Because this is all going to be used in court. It's all being used in court right now. It's very important to note that the last cases that have been settled, SIG has lost. So that is the most recent cases are SIG losing. So, and there's still, 31 cases ongoing or something stupid like that with hundreds of defendants. So all of this stuff is going to be used in courts, in settlement agreements, in whatever it might be. It's all going to be used going forward. And that more and more of this information comes out, the more ammo, quite literally, you're giving to Mr. Zimmerman, who is the master lawyer behind winning against SIG. I think he's won 4 cases so far against SIG.
I think it's going to be interesting if some of the YouTubers start popping up in the actual court proceedings. I'll give you Exhibit A, Your Honor.
What's up, my Siggers?
I saw a video.
It's gonna be
Apparently
Protraband.
They already have.
Yeah,
Protraband has been mentioned. Yes.